and they ran the country with an auto pen. And I hope that law enforcement's looking at that very seriously. That's like a takeover of our country in a certain way. And they always like to say age, but it's not age. I know people 88, 89, 92.
I don't know how the White House, let me start here. Oftentimes you hear the phrase, from a 30,000 foot view, or, when you zoom out and you look at things, blah, blah, blah. That's all good and fine. But I like to think about things, and I use the phrase, let's get on the ground with it. Let's look around and think about how something gets organized, how something actually works and exists, right? So my question is, how does the White House plan these events, and how do they plan around the confusing, demented chaos that Donald Trump sows, even in meetings about things that are unrelated to his demented ranting, leaving the audience in the room befuddled, confused, in a sensitive position to have to act like, yes, the emperor is wearing clothes. And this is what took place yesterday at an event in the White House that was about Invest in America. It was the Invest in America Roundtable. This footage I'm getting ready to show you is pulled directly from the White House YouTube channel. I don't know how they do it, but it started out, I'm going to give you this little ditty here. It starts out in a way that Donald Trump, this is why he does these events. It opens with the thing that he loves the most, which is being the center of attention. For a man like Donald Trump, the job of president is the best thing in his mind, because when he enters a room, they literally play fucking music for you. It's like a theme song. It's like if he was to walk around and have like the tuba player behind him giving the music. That's real life for this guy. Anyway, watch this, and just as you're watching these 30 seconds or 40 seconds or whatever this clip length is, think about not rewarding this type of asshole, this type of monster with this type of power. Watch this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Again, what have we done? What have we done? What have we done? And before I get to the clip of him confusing the entire audience, rambling about auto pens and Joe Biden ruining the country and making a bunch of statements that conflicted one sentence from the next, all of it, I want to show you the other aspect and the element of this that is so it leaves me in a distraught state. And that is Donald Trump teeing up all the people. He's introducing the adulation that will follow, the worshipful. It's like a praise and worship service at a church, but it's them raising their hands in worship to the dear leader. He sets it up and introduces the people who are getting ready to kiss his own ass. It's very weird, very cultish, and it's not even all members of Congress who are Republicans. It's CEOs of corporations who are just titillating his ball bag rhetorically. Maybe gross, yeah, but it's what came to mind. Anyway, watch this very odd moment before we get to the chef's kiss of demented nonsense.
So I'd like to begin by asking Speaker Johnson to say a few words, and I think then we're going to go to Michael Dell, David Solomon, we're going to go to Dara, and then to Chairman Smith. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, thank you so much for your bold, visionary leadership.
Thank you, Mr. President, for your visionary leadership on this critical issue.
President Trump, thank you for your leadership. Your support is going to turn this powerful idea into a powerful reality.
Jason, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to first start off by thanking you for your leadership, your vision, your commitment to workers and families throughout this country. The One Big Beautiful Bill would not have been possible without you. Representing Southeast Missouri, I'm extremely proud about how you're delivering for working families. This will make a significant difference to their lives, and it's because of your leadership, Mr. President, and we say thank you.
Yeah, I had to speed up the Jason Smith clips because he just rambled in between the Republican eroticism. All very weird, very weird. And it ended with this. This is how the meeting ended. It was like almost an hour-long meeting of Donald Trump rambling and taking questions from the press about this and about that, about arresting Gavin Newsom. What crime did he commit? And it ended with Donald Trump talking about saving the country. It ended with Donald Trump that our country was abused and ruined by Joe Biden, who apparently isn't a robot clone who was executed in 2020, like Donald Trump in a fit of dementia posted on True Social the other day. Apparently, Joe Biden didn't know, but all the radical left lunatics did know, and they destroyed our country. But also, it was very easy to fix all of the damage that destroyed the country. None of it makes sense. All of it left the audience feeling insecure and uncertain about what in the was going on.
We have to make our country better. It has to heal from 4 years of abuse. Our country was abused badly by a very incompetent person and a group of people that weren't incompetent, but they were radical left lunatics. And they ran the country with an auto pen. And I hope that law enforcement's looking at that very seriously. That's like a takeover of our country in a certain way, because this guy had no idea what he was doing. You saw that during the debate. You saw that in other cases. I mean, he had no idea. I saw it years ago. By the way, 40 years ago, he had no. He was bad 40 years ago. We're not just talking about. And they always like to say age, but it's not age. I know people 88, 89, 92. Bernie Marcus, who just passed away, was 95. I spoke to him a year before. He was 100%. It's not age. It's something else. But whatever it is, you can't have that in this country. The damage he's done to this country is unbelievable. But the good news is we've got much of it fixed already, and the rest of it will happen. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Let's go back out this way. Take everything.
Let's talk about two elements of that entire bizarre exchange. Not an exchange. Well, it's an exchange with himself. He's having a conversation with himself, right? They ran the country with an auto pen, and I hope that law enforcement's looking at that very seriously. That's like a takeover of our country in a certain way. In a certain way. Which way would that be, Donald Trump? A takeover of our country. Man who incited a literal attempted takeover of the government, an insurrection against the country. Tell us more. Because this guy had no idea what he was doing. And then he rambles. I use a transcription service in Adobe Premiere where I just punch it in and it just writes down what he transcribes his words. Let me tell you, even the most intelligent AI has a real hard time transcribing the absolute befuddlement and demented words of Donald Trump. So I'm not going to ramble through that. You saw that thing during the debate. You saw that in other cases. I mean, he had no idea. I saw it years ago. By the way, 40 years ago, he has no idea if he was bad 40 years ago. We're just not talking about what? But he says this, the damage he's done to the country is unbelievable. The damage he's done to the country is so bad that it's unbelievable. But the good news is, we've got much of it fixed already. It only took 3 months to fix the destruction of the country. So it wasn't that bad. Or you're just such a brilliant leader, dear leader, that you got it done in 3 months. How does the White House do it? Who are the people that are organizing this? Luckily, we have a tradition. Maybe it's law. I don't know. I don't think it's a law to have a YouTube channel or to document the downfall, the decline of a seated president. But if they're certainly doing it, they're proud of it, because no one wants to admit that the emperor doesn't have clothes on. Luckily or unluckily for us, that's the situation. Anyway, what do you think? Is it lucky or unlucky? Tell me what you think. Comment below. You can call the voicemail line as well. Leave me a fewer than 3-minute voicemail, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. If you want to help support this work, help me produce these videos on a daily basis for $2 a month. You can do that. Click the join button below this video. It says join, and you can become a channel member for $2. You can also go over to patreon.com. An even better choice is going to Patreon. They take way less of a cut than Google and YouTube, slash YouTube. Patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. Same deal, $2 a month. It supports this channel and Brittany Page's channel and our podcast that we do together called I Doubt It. I love and appreciate you. I'll see you next time. Until then, be genuine and take care of one another.